In this video, I'm going to do a real-time deep dive with a student into his creative audit. Basically, I'm helping him close a client where he has a sales call in 2 hours from now. And so what we do in Film Business Master, before we sell the whole service, we offer the client a free creative audit, which is basically just showing him what he can do better with his current ads. What we have right now for this student, Giancarlo, he's from California. A lead that he got from the ads is a winery that sells their wine through the internet. And so, yeah, it's just a complete rundown of the whole process of how I create those creative audits, so you can just copy and paste it to your own business. Hope you enjoy, and let's start. In this meeting, what I want us to have is going through how to build a low ticket offer, the creative audit.
Yeah.
So I want you to have something you can already use for this specific client, but obviously beyond that. So we want to understand, first of all, what is the goal, and then how do we want to structure it, and then we will go into specifics and actually how to.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So as for the goal, I know I said it before, but I just want to make it clear. As for the goal of a low ticket is to build trust and to make them want to just have more of what we have to offer. But it's kind of like, imagine this: you're being a restaurant and you're just, having someone walking outside the restaurant and giving, how do you call it, like samples. So this is like, give them a small sample, just want them to come into the restaurant. This is the whole thing. Because we are dealing with like 5, 10K deals here, retainers, it's not like an impulse buy. So we have to create this trust and this hunger. And so we need to understand it can't be like a copy paste for each client. But as long as you are doing this around the same niche, in our instance, it's e-com brands, you can pretty much assume they want to have the same stuff, the same outcomes, especially after we've done the research. So we know, for example, that e-com brands, the main problem they're having with their ads is that they're not performing well and they cannot scale.
Yeah.
This is the main problem. If you can only solve one thing and they will pay you a ton of money for it, it's that. And I'm only saying this because I know. Otherwise, I wouldn't say it. I would tell you, go do the research, understand what is that one thing, and then we can build it around that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I've noticed that too, from my experience.
Yeah. They don't care about creating good creatives. They care about making good creatives in order to scale and to just make more money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if they could just push a button versus take your service, they would push a button.
Oh, 100%.
So it's good that we understand that when on the same page here. Okay, so now that we understand that, let's just, before we dive in, focus a bit more our target audience. We're talking about, remind me the target audience?
D2C food and beverage brands, like the general target for me personally.
And what size of companies are we talking?
Oh, so 1 to 5 million D2C food and beverage brands is kind of what I'm aiming for.
1 to 5 million in revenue.
Yes.
So we know for a fact they already run a lot of ads, otherwise they won't be here.
Yes.
Especially in that revenue. Cool. So our assumption is that they're already running ads. If they clicked your ad, that means something is hurting for them. They cannot scale. Something in their ads is not working. And so the low ticket offer is here to solve, before we go and sell them the whole service. We can show them how, just by this call, but this 15-20 minute call, they can already solve a big part of their problem. So we want to show them what they're doing wrong and how they can fix this. Those two things.
Okay. That makes sense. That's what I was kind of thinking.
Exactly. So those two things. Now, do you have any questions about how to actually do it?
Not really. I mean, well, at least I'll tell you what I'm doing, and you can tell me what you think. Went to their, Facebook ad library, saw all the ads, saw the ones that they were running the longest, which usually means that's the ones that are working at least somewhat. What I noticed is a lot of them there's some strengths to them, so that's probably why they're running them, but there's some weaknesses. For example, they'll have they'll be talking, they'll have a UGC guy talking, and all of a sudden they cut to like an on-white image, and it's just kind of awkward and feels not great. So that's something that I would fix. I think they have some good stuff. They went to a wine festival and they had some social proof, having people go there and talk about how great the wine is, which is obviously good because social proof is the big thing.
Yeah, okay, but wait a second. You're already going into the actual what's wrong. What I want to understand from you is, do you know how to structure the audit?
Okay, yeah. So I mean, how I was gonna start it, start about things I like about what they're doing, going into then I just kind of making them feel good, tell them whatever. I have a few questions for them, things like what are best performing ads, how do you test new creatives, do you do different hooks, et cetera, like what's that process. Another question I have is how do you get content, because I don't entirely know if they have someone outside, if it's then ad hoc guy or something like that. Something else I think is important to know is their target demo. I kind of have what I think, because they're $20 bottle wines. I can kind of guess, but I would like to know what they're thinking.
Yeah, but wait a second. We need to understand what is the goal. Okay, again, of the audit. We want to give them value, but we also want to give them a window of an amazing opportunity. So your client you're talking about right now that we're doing this case study on, it's a winery.
They're like D2C. I wouldn't say they're wine or D2C wine though.
So they're selling wine through the internet.
Yes.
Okay. So imagine this. What you want to achieve is like somebody telling you, listen, I've looked through the thing, and you're in a very good spot. You have an amazing product and bad marketing, which is the easiest thing to fix.
Okay.
We can fix this pretty good, and you have a lot of potential, unfulfilled potential. So that's what a client wants to hear. Like,
okay.
There's an easy fix. There's a lot of money on the table that you're not utilizing. I'm not saying lying. I'm saying that's what they want to hear. If you don't think that's true, then don't say it, of course. Just last week, I had to say no to a client because I think their product is really bad. And it doesn't matter what I do. It's a bad product.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we have to say the truth in the face, what we think. Especially as creative strategists, we have much more responsibility than just doing a video, right?
Yeah. Totally.
And
I mean,
so,
the product's bad. Nothing you can do about it.
yeah, and so most of your clients that you'll work with, they already have an amazing revenue with shitty ads. And so there's a lot of potential. They don't know about it. We know because we're creatives. Mm-hmm. And so you just need to reflect that. Like, guys, you're sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah.
That's what, you understand? Like, that's where that's the goal of the audit. Like, guys, you're sitting on a gold mine. Let me just show you a few examples. Blah, 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 blah. You want them to leave the conversation pumped.
Yeah.
Because then they will never go to someone else, because like you said, they're sitting on a gold mine, so you're probably the only one who knows how to get the gold out of the gold mine.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So when you were saying examples, are you saying like this is why you have good product. This is examples of how these areas that are I can help you improve with your content, and then being very specific, like
So
I
what I
noticed
would
in
do,
this video XYZ or whatever.
yeah. So what I would do in a creative audit, I first want to understand the product, the target audience, and then I would look at the ads. The ads come last. So what we're going to do now is actually going to prepare the audit.
Okay.
I just think it's the best to do it live.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, cool. So
yeah,
if you can go ahead, share your screen.
Okay, so this is what I've written so far before the audit. I don't know if you just want a fresh page.
Let's start fresh for a sec. Vampire Vive. For those who watch this video, just so you know, the brand is called Vampire Wine, right? Something.
Yeah, vampire.com is there.
Okay. All right. Okay, don't worry about this for now. Don't worry about the doc. Just go to the website.
Sure. Here. So this is a website.
Okay. Wow. I have a lot to say, but
yeah, no, the website itself that needs a whole. It's
okay. We we both on the same page here. Award-winning wines, coffee, chocolate, blah blah blah. Okay, so they saw your ad, they put their details, and now you're going and call, right? That's the only thing they gave you. Did they give you any more details besides the website?
Yeah, so I had in the questionnaire. Let me just pull it up on my phone real quick. I'll tell you. Give me 2 seconds. I asked 3 questions. What's your biggest goal? Content, sales. Do you run ads? Yes. What is your monthly marketing budget? 10 to 30,000 a month, depending on ROAS. Is what they said, and then there was couple other things notes that they gave me, and that was they spent a few hundred day on ads. They want to get their target goals ROAS of 3.
And you don't know what's the current ROAS?
No, I asked. I'll probably find that out during, but
okay,
on the email.
Okay, cool. So, what I'm always curious about, like, what's the best selling product and who's the buyer? Who's the best buyer? Again, this is a more advanced stage, but if I can figure it out before, then that's great. If not, I will assume stuff just for the sake of this audit. So
I also know. I mean, I have a general idea since I've worked with other wine brands, so I generally have an idea too of what their target is. Because if they're about $15 a bottle wines, which is definitely more consumer, more about getting a bunch of volume rather than.
Yeah, so they're in a race to the bottom ish. You say, like, they're on the low end of the wines.
Yeah, I'd say they're not bottom barrel $5, but $15 is very much, lower end.
Yeah, so the client that's buying will tell me a lot about it, right? It's really different if we're selling to wealthy, I don't know, 35-year-old moms versus, broke frat bros.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It's a completely different thing and a completely different creative outcome. Can we scroll a bit, just get the feeling for the brand feature product?
Yeah, so I think this is something that they're pushing a lot, this starter pack. A lot of their creatives about that.
Yeah.
And then they have kind of random things like energy shot and they tequila and stuff.
No, we want to go for the winners to understand their best sellers.
The reds, the whites. Okay. They talk about the Pinot Noir a lot. And they have all these kind of auxiliary items, which I don't think are.
Okay, I wonder what's the vampire thing, but if they're not utilizing Friday the 13th or Halloween or stuff like that, I imagine they do.
So I think their ads are they're a little kish to me, a little they're kind of funny, humorous. They don't take
Can you show?
seriously
Yeah, can you show
some
the
of their
ads?
ads. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go watch the ads.
I guess you want to just start with the older ad, because I figure if it's an older ad, that's probably one that's been.
Yeah, exactly. Older ads.
Indulge your dark side with award-winning vampire wines, crafted to perfection, with rich, bold flavours that are made to awaken the senses. When the night calls, pour yourself a glass with vampire wines.
Oh my god, man. Okay, pause this. It's like
Yeah, so that's
so many. I'm so happy because if they're spending 30K already, 10 to 30K already, man, there's so much room for improvement here.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I have tons of stuff to say, but let's continue to see a bit more creatives.
Sure, I'll do this UGC one.
Well, I finally found the right way to open a bottle of wine. You have to have the Vampire Ultimate Wine Accessory Kit. How's it work? Removing the tin foil, very easy. A couple of turns with the foil remover. Open up the waiter's corkscrew, which you have probably seen something like this before, but this one's special because it went through intense scientific scrutiny. Put the corkscrew in, twist it all about, pop out the cork, then pour yourself a glass of wine, and when you're done, it's very simple. All you have to do is put in the vampire steak.
Cool. That's the other one. The other style that they have.
Yeah.
Show me.
There's room for improvement. You want to see more?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see a couple more.
Oh my gosh, look at this cute vampire wine. It's got a cape and everything. Let's see. Well, it looks beautiful. Oh, it smells wonderful. Yum! We've got a winner. I love it.
Oh.
Can't wait for more.
Man, it's hurtful to watch. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's
the reason I love this, man, so much is because if this works with shitty creatives, it will work 10 times more with good ones. In none of their ads, they're talking about the vampire thing.
Yeah, I think it's kind of confusing because if you go to, they have the cape, I guess, and then they have. I think it's a personal reason they wanted to market in Transylvania, and they couldn't. There's a whole story behind it.
We don't care. They market to the US market. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
It works for them. Great. We can make it way better. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, we'll make a list of things they can improve right now.
Okay.
That's one thing. The second thing is we'll give them ideas of things they can do. Not only what you can fix, why it's wrong, why it's bad. Here's what you can also do, and give them references. We'll find references for stuff, show them our vision and what they can do.
Okay.
Okay? And then in the meeting, you're just going over these things.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I guess we can just start with.
Yeah, just do bullet points, man. Just bullet points of call it about what's bad. Later you can rephrase it.
Yeah.
Things to improve. Yeah, okay, good. So first of all, they're just being commoditized. It looks like just any other commodity. There's no reason to buy this wine other than just, how do I say it?
There's nothing unique about it. It just looks
exactly. There's nothing unique about it.
There's nothing unique about it. Okay, it just looks like any other cheap wine, except the cape, which I don't understand why it's there because they don't talk about it in any of the creatives. There's no clear brand language theme.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks very cookie cutter. It looks very safe. It looks very.
Now maybe it's part of their strategy because they want to look cheap and they want to sell cheap. Maybe it's part of it.
But
But there's no benefit to look cheap and being cheap You can look expensive and then being cheap, and then people will just feel like they're getting good quality for low price.
So either way,
I would bump the quality of those creatives in terms of freaking everything. So the looks of it, the sound of it, the feel.
Yeah.
UGCs, the UGCs look fake. They don't look authentic at all.
Yeah, I agree. That was one of the notes that I had.
Why the hell do we have British voiceover?
I read a little bit about them in their website, whatever, and I guess the wife is British. I don't know if she's voiceover or something, but
No, all good. The reason I'm asking why is not because I'm criticizing. Is that, do you have a good reason? Did you A/B test British versus US? Like, is there a reason for that? Right? When you ask this question, not in a judgmental way, but actually giving them the A/B test reasoning, they see how you think, like to the details.
yeah,
you're
is
gonna
there
test
data
this out.
behind it?
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
One of the most important things I didn't see, their wine is vampire wine, and it has a cape. So there must be a reason behind it, a story behind it that does not come across in the creatives at all. Like, we're all about vampires, we're all about that. Great. This has to come across in the ads.
Yeah. I mean, that goes into the brand language, right? It's like,
Yeah, it's just a bit more specific to it. Yeah. I saw a middle-aged man, a middle-aged woman. Is there a reason for that? Is that our target audience?
yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to ask this demo, because that's so important. Like you said, you talk different to a bro than you do about 35-year-old mom or whatever.
Exactly. Go back to the creatives for a second. I want to see their value proposition. Enjoy every moment with Vampire.
Sorry.
No, all good. With Vampire wine, every sip is delight. Our award-winning wine is guaranteed to win you over one glass at a time. They said a bunch of stuff, but said nothing. So their value proposition is that they won an award. See what I'm saying? The value proposition is the unique value proposition is very, very weak. So you can write this down as well. No clear USP. Let's see another one. Show me another copy. Experience, go up. Discover the Vampire Starter Kit, a blend of elegance and flavor. Enjoy our renowned wines, complemented by gourmet coffee and luxurious chocolate, ideal for creating unforgettable moments. Generalistic. They're being very generalistic in their copy, in their ads. That is a very obvious red flag for me. The more generalistic you are, the worse your performance will be. Like, you want to be super specific. You want to talk about a date, experience, then be specific. And the best way to go about it is like reflect a real scenario or tell a story, right? Go specific.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I can think of examples right now, but just want to shoot some bullet points. Overly generalistic copy, yeah.
We were talking about this one in particular. Just if you want to talk, I think if you want to talk about an unforgettable moment, actually talk about that unforgettable moment. Don't just say
exactly. So tell me a story about Sally and Jake went on a date with our wine. Here's what happened. Like crazy stories that people who went on a date with wine vampire wine. That could work much better. That goes into what you can do. It doesn't go here. Like, these ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. That's obviously just But yeah, you want to be more specific, and you want to paint a picture. You want to tell a story because people connect with stories. People remember stories.
100%. This is less about us, but sometimes it's a must for the client. Did they test prices, different prices with their creatives?
Different prices.
I would
You're
ask
saying
them that.
like. You mean by prices, like prices as not their product price, but their like. Oh, so like.
So this bottle is $15 average. Did you try putting it in 19, 21? Like, how do you know that's the perfect price? You're asking this not necessarily to change it. You're asking this so they understand how you think. Because you'll be surprised, man, like how an amazing change just testing the price. Especially when it comes to wine, where people just assume that higher price equals better quality wine.
Yeah, no, trust me, that's something that, I mean, yesterday I was shooting with a brand that does, $100 bottles, so it's,
Exactly. Okay, so there's quite a few points here about what to improve and a few questions. Do you have any points you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you delve real deep into some of the ads, it's just, it's weird because I don't know if they're trying to be campy, cheesy, and that's their kind of humor, or if it's just bad and it's becoming.
Even if they're trying to do that, my man,
then they need to really commit to it,
They need to commit to it, and it needs to look good. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Even making something look bad, there's a good version of bad.
Yeah,
Right
I mean,
now,
it's like you make those spoofs. It's like, yeah.
It's just not good, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think because a lot of the ads, they just feel clunky and awkward. And it's, you have this video. This is an okay set, I guess. It could be better. But then you have a still image and you have these weird zoom ins that just make it look.
And
And
this
this
all
all
just
just
plays
plays
to
to
our
our
hands.
hands.
It all just plays to our hands,
man. It's just an
Yeah,
amazing
exactly.
thing.
And we looked at this ad with the girl, and you could tell that she got paid to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just her like, oh look, oh wow. It's like,
Yeah. And if that works, man. All right. So now that we got this is the fun part. Let's think of ideas of what they can do. Okay, and later on we can decide what goes in and what not. So let's make a new list of what they can do, and then later we can look for references.
okay.
So the first thing I would do, and as you wrote above, is like actual stories of dates that people went on, crazy date stories that people went on with our wine, and they can show it in a video, they can show it in a podcast, they can show it in an image with text, many different concepts.
Okay. Well, story's wrong, but whatever.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think you can just like not necessarily dates, but just experiences that people have had. Like how did this make your night? It's I went on this and then I did this fun activity and that led to that.
Yeah, but I want you to be specific because you told them to be specific, and now you're being general. So we can divide it. I want date stories. I want horrible date stories. I want amazing date stories. I want girls' night out stories.
Okay, yeah.
Again, we need to show them a window to your mind.
Okay.
All right. What else? Let's think, and feel free, man, to put your own ideas here.
Yeah. Let's think. I think they can do something that's why vampire? Like we need something to kind of. He obviously talks about in his website about he has a whole page, this whole long thing about why vampire, whatever. It's a little rambly, but he's always
Okay, so
with it. So why? Like, why can't maybe he can tell a story about that?
Okay, so let's read through for a second, because it can really help us understand why the hell do they, like, what's their mission? We blend romance. Okay, you see, so romance is good. Romance, intrigue, and adventure into our gourmet products and all that we do. Okay, man, this sits perfect with our first idea.
Yeah.
Perfect. There's nothing that sells better than stories, man. Because what happens is, even, if we're telling the story and connected to our product, people automatically assume that I can have the same stories or something similar, exciting, connected to that product. That the same reason is Four Seasons Hotel is now seeing a surge because of the White Lotus series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did it in Four Seasons, and now it's booked out months in advance.
Yeah, because people want to live that story. They want to see it, and they want to
exactly
be involved in that.
So
Exactly, and so I think stories is good here. About us, let's see.
Wine was meant to be revered, respected, and worshipped. It is downright irrelevant. Irreverent. Since then, many in the industry have simply copied our ideas. But we remember their shock. Once a chief executive at one of the nation's top wine and spirit distributors threw us out of his office screaming, "You're spoofing the industry." So obviously they like to be a little rebellious. That's what that tells me. So there's definitely something there.
Yeah.
But we weren't. We were simply the first to realize that wine doesn't have to be dull and boring, but instead full of adventure. So again, they're talking about adventure. So it's obviously, and I think that's a good idea. That's something that people resonate with, and I think there is definitely. So not obviously just myself now, but wine has a perception to be stuffy, and that's what they don't want to be, and that's something that's unique to them. Something that's a unique selling point. So we can
Stuffy? What do you mean
capitalize
stuffy?
on that. Stuffy in that, it's fancy restaurant. You open wine for fancy occasions. You spend $80 on a bottle, and it's you wearing a suit and tuxedo, and this.
Yeah. So
blue jeans.
I'm
T-shirt.
I'm already getting the vibe from this brand. They're like the rebel kid of wine.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, continue on.
We simply were the first to realize that wine doesn't have to be dull, boring, but instead full of adventure. So come sip our gold medal winning treasures. Relax with our wine, close your eyes, and escape into another world where vampires exist and the blood of the vine is truly immortal. As one might very well expect, if any 500-year-old immortal were connoisseurs and only offer the best tasting wines and spirits to our guests. So
Okay.
That's already giving me a lot of information. Continue.
Our story. The year was 1985, and it was pitch black. It's pitch dark on a rural highway somewhere in the Nevada desert.
This is, man, you understand. This is a treatment for your next production for them.
Oh, I know, it's great. I mean, it's
like showing their story. That's another video. I don't know if that ad will convert, but that's like a brand video. I would pitch them 100%. Like, guys, this story needs to be a freaking video, and a cool one.
Well, yeah, I mean, he does a good job. Rural dark highway somewhere in Nevada desert. Like, you read that and it gets your imagination going. So he obviously does have a flair for storytelling as is. So it's not going to be a hard. He's already got the bones there. It's just fleshing it out and polishing it. The only visible lights were the stars up above when Michael Marchant first saw the vision across the sky. The image was red wine and the name was vampire. Some 3,000 miles later, Marchant emerged in New York, eager to share what he thought was a brilliant idea. Unfortunately, the reaction from the wine trade was disbelief. A wine named Vampire? What was this young New York lawyer thinking? At the time, at the time, the notion of calling a wine vampire, let alone describing it as the blood of the vine, was downright silly, if not irreverent. Wine was meant to be taken seriously. It was not meant for playing games. Kind of the same thing what they were saying before.
Yeah. Go down if we find anything new. Pennsylvania region, California Revolution. Okay, I got the gist of it. Rebellious, around vampires. They're the bad kid in the neighborhood. Kind of like if you want, kind of like Liquid Death.
I don't know if they know Liquid Death.
But man, I would use a lot of reference from Liquid Death. Now, let's get some references.
Okay. So, I mean, Liquid Death has some great ads, there's some great videos, especially some of their older stuff, that's not super crazy high production.
I'm not afraid to show him some high productions, while we show them some low productions as well. I want to show them variety of capability and vision.
There's two ads in particular that kind of I think about for Liquid Death. There's the waterboarding one.
Yeah, but that's kind of like old.
Yeah, I was thinking because that's kind of simple. There's also the one they did recently with the dancing.
Yeah, but don't think what is simple for you to produce.
Think what will make them say, "Wow, we need this guy." Okay.
Yeah.
So go to Ed Library for a second. Let's see what ads they're running at the moment.
For Liquid Death?
Yeah.
Okay,
play this one.
Liquid Death Water doesn't fuck around. They don't give a fuck if I swear during the ad. So Dad, Big Ed, plug your ears. Most badass way to drink water and stay.
Not relevant. I wouldn't use it as a reference.
Liquid Death.
No. Okay.
I can use this as a reference.
That one, it's kind of bad.
As a very low end UGC thing for the Rebel, like seeing somebody drinking this bottle of wine after he broke the top of it like this.
Yeah.
For example, right? So you can save this as one reference. Again, ideas first, then we decide what to include or not. This one, a bit over the top. The fact that you have an option to sell your soul.
Oh, it's a customer like hater.
Okay, so this is kind of like a bad review that they got, and they're proud of it.
So that might be something because they talk about how they were. Everyone said, "Don't do this. It's a dumb idea." So if they have something like that,
exactly. Screenshot this with their story as a rebel.
It's a really good thing, like how they got knocked off that office. Great reference. I would use that as well.
So this is more a hater. You think it's funny to joke about eternal damnation? You guys need Jesus immediately.
Turn off.
Okay, what does the copy says?
The billions of plastic bottles polluting the earth are now overflowing into the underworld, aka hell, where they are ruining the delicate demon ecosystem.
Okay, so what I would do, I would use this as a reference for the copy. How they have their own voice being funny. That's their own color.
Yeah.
That's what we need to develop here with them. You guys are lacking color, you're lacking character. We have to develop this. So I would use this as a reference for a copy.
It's funny because their whole website and branding name is that, but then they don't show it.
Exactly, man. You got to reflect that to them. Guys, your whole website and product has this thing of character, but your creatives don't talk that. Your creatives are just talking like another facial cream ad with a UGC mom. Hey, this is the best product I've ever tasted. No, it's boring.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you obviously you didn't find you're not a safe brand. You're not trying to. You didn't name yourself.
Exactly, and you're being safe.
You know, whatever
Not a safe
vineyard.
man.
It's
Okay.
so don't do that. These are all kind of
Yeah.
Okay, enough from Liquid Death. Let's get some references from something else. What about Skull Candy? Oh, okay.
Skull Candy.
You know them?
The headphones,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go, the high production. Okay, this I would use. Of it.
This can definitely be a concept where we take somebody like super ordinary. The minute they drink, the whole world changes into this dark vampire kind of like state.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, so it's like I could see that. Like maybe you have them in a room or something, and as soon as they open the bottle, it hard cuts to like them in a gothic. You know, there's a candle all of a sudden. Maybe there's some vampire bat that flies in, and I don't know, it's a server or something. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah, man. I would do it simple. Studio.
Transylvania.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just sitting, opening the bottle of water, the bottle of wine, having a zip. As long as they're taking the zip, the whole world changes and crazy stuff happening. The minute they're putting the bottle down, they're back to normal. The music stops. It can literally be 7 seconds. And use this as a reference. Love it. Well, you know what's a good reference? Some TV shows, man. Twilight, of course, but Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Stranger Things as a theme concept reference can work really good. So to show them where you want to take the brand.
Yeah, I like that. You know, it kind of has a gothic horror vibe, you know, to it.
Okay, go to YouTube and look for Stranger Things trailer. Yeah.
Something is coming. Something hungry for blood. What is it? The Demogorgon!
Deep shit.
Now we have to go. Later. See you tomorrow.
Man, this whole brand should feel like Stranger Things.
Kiss your mom night for
Like,
me.
imagine the brand video.
Starting like this, man. I don't want you to try to sell them this now. I just want you to show them, like, guys, I want you to take, like, we can make you this brand.
Yeah, no, I think that's would be amazing, and I think that's something I could see them liking because, like I said, they're already storytellers with that
Exactly.
that copy. It just has to be edited down and focused, you know, and just finding that wavelength together.
Exactly. So I would show this as a reference, 100% general reference of the character of the brand and where we can take this, and the brand story video. So I would end up your presentation with this. The creative audit, I would end it with this.
Okay. I also did think of that. No, I like that. I think that's a great way to end because it gets them excited and it gets them thinking like, oh wow, this is like, it'd be amazing to do something like this, you know. But for the time, we also need to give them, this is the goal for right now, you know, these little things that we can do next week, this month. But then this is bigger picture, you know, down the line, whatever.
Exactly, man. So go back to the, okay, you want to show me one last thing?
These guys do
They
some.
feel comfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, no. It's good, it's
Isn't it time we
good.
gotta
Show me that. Did you see above?
Sleep in these?
I sleep naked, but I would definitely wear them a
A
little.
lot of information here.
Yeah, I would definitely like wear this around the house. I'm feeling it. I love the yellow in it.
No, okay, so what I would do, I would do UGCs of just people telling crazy date stories.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Right? So I would have somebody sexy on the street just stopping people randomly and asking them for the craziest date stories. And you can show this reference as for how it will look. Not the actual content.
That's like man on the street type stuff. Yeah, the nice thing about man on the street too is that you can scale. You know, you can do 10 of those. I've done those for other brands, and you can do 10 of them in, you know,
exactly
couple hours. You know, you can
exactly. You need somebody entertaining. I would use a woman here, because a woman is a bit less intimidating.
Yeah.
But yeah. So man, we've got a really good audit. Go back to the document. Let's just sum it up. Just to sum it all up, man. Your goal with the audit is to show them how you think and your vision, so they will be like, holy shit, we are sitting on a gold mine, and this guy is our answer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot, and I think that's a good bottom line.
Exactly. So this is the goal you need to keep in mind. We're doing this by giving them value and showing them what they can do. What else they can do that they're not utilizing. The first way we do it is by showing them what they're doing wrong. And the second thing we do is show them what they could do right. Plus showing them references of the vision visually, because at the end of the day, these are videos, and that's how they buy.
Okay.
Do you have any questions before we wrap this up?
No, I mean, I guess sure they're going to ask about pricing. I have kind of an idea. We don't have to go over that if you don't want to, but I think it's not really the goal isn't to do like a hard pitch at the end or anything. It's just a soft like.
No, you're not doing a hard pitch. Exactly, you're not doing a hard pitch. If they ask you for prices, so again, you either have your packages ready, then you can go over the packages. And if you don't have your packages ready, which I recommend you have them ready, right? You have low tier, middle tier, high tier, right?
Okay.
If you don't have that, you'll tell them, well, you tell me exactly what you need, what you want, and then we'll schedule a call and we'll go over the packages. I recommend, my friend, that you will make your packages before that. You can send it over to me. I'll take a look. We'll do a bit of back and forth, and then you can present it.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean the call's later today, so I'm probably gonna spend some time doing this and then jump on the call. And I think it's in a couple hours now.
All right.
I have a general idea of pricing, but I can kind of defer them and say, let's, basically what you said.
Don't.
Because I was thinking.
Whatever you do, man.
Go for it.
Be the one behind the wheels. Don't do the classic, what's your budget? No, don't go there.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. You're a creative strategist. You're leading brands. Guys, this is how I work. This is my price. These are my prices, sorry. You have this option, and this option.
Yeah. Because the three things I was thinking is, okay, we could do one-off, that's X amount. We can do a retainer, that's X amount, and then if you want to just do strategy and not any production, that's this package. That's three ideas.
Exactly. That's perfect, man. Make it. You can use the FBM template to make the packages, and then just send it over to me if you want. But schedule. You already scheduled a call with them?
Yeah, they had reached out a couple days ago, and I scheduled it for later today.
Okay, make sure they approve for today. Send them, hey guys, just to make sure we have a call, blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
All right, man. Amazing. Looks good, man. Yeah, just let me know how it went.
Yeah, for sure.
And overall, from now on, this is your structure for the creative audit. As time goes by, you'll make it quicker and quicker, but this is packed with a ton of value for the clients. And so even if they don't buy right away, they will remember this, believe me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I think we have a lot of good ideas, even if they say, oh, we can do that cheaper. Well, okay, go for it. And then when it doesn't work out, you can come back to me,
Exactly, man. Okay, look, my battery's like 5%. Gotta go. Keep me updated on Instagram, and we'll talk, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Cheers. You're welcome, man.
Guys, if you need help with your video business, you're stuck, you want to get high paying clients, you want to get leads, then that's exactly what I do, just like with Giancarlo from California. I helped him run ads, now he started getting leads, and now I'm helping him close those leads. So you can just click the link below, schedule a call with me, I'll look at your business and I'll tell you if I can help. If so, then we can start working together and scale your business.